Go. We're going to go down my list of agenda things to go over. Um, and then you guys can ask questions about different things that are coming up and so forth. First thing, congratulations to Kim.
Yes.
For all the work, the hard work that she did, and everyone that came out to help her and take photo ops with her and so forth over the weekend for the Arnold Classic. A lot of stress, a lot of bullshit that went into everything. A very, very important weekend. So the fact that she could handle all that stress on top of just all the needs and so forth is just incredible.
And making all those connections with people all over the world.
Yeah, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got so much opportunity there. So gorgeous location. The whole place is beautiful. Like I told her yesterday, just feels so safe, even when you've never heard of anything like that. When you walk in and it's clean and it's nice and it's upscale looking, you trust the food, you're going to trust everything that's in there. The before and after picture in there, just everything looks so good.
One of the police officers who's now on our powerlifting team walked by and he was like, I think that's the place that Brittany just posted on social media. And he was like, that's the only clean storefront. That's the only clean storefront of a restaurant. He's like, that's the only place I would eat at. He's like, definitely coming back. Definitely coming back.
Good. Yeah. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
And that was literally without fully knowing that like we endorse it and I endorse it. So he was like, that's the only clean storefront. That's the only place I would eat at. And then he's like, wait, I got to double check. Yeah, that is the place Brittany posted. So yeah, a lot of positive feedback, and just to be able to present yourself in that way to, a Columbus police officer, he's all over the place and sees everything. So the fact that he's so picky about where he's going to eat and where he trusts the food coming from, to me, that was huge.
Yeah, me too.
That is an outsider's perspective of the way that Kim is presenting healthy habits, and also all of Team Amp Up and everything that all of us are representing to the entire world. So if that's somebody's first impression and snap judgment, that's powerful. So super proud of Kim and Kasara and everybody for that, and the whole team effort just to make everything look as phenomenal as it did. And this is just the start of decking everything out and decorating. So everything we did and everything that we got done in that short amount of time, in that crunch time, it really did pay off, and it made a really great impression. Because, Columbus police officers, all police officers, they're working special duty all the time. And there's so many events at the convention center. So that word of mouth amongst the police officers of, hey, there's a good protein shake and smoothie bar. Come over here. I know Kim. That's going to be huge for you on an ongoing basis. So the fact that that was his first impression, snap judgment without my affect on it, that's awesome for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's take a little sidetrack moment here to talk about like food licenses, protein versus baked goods and so forth. So when it comes to food licenses, you actually don't need a food license to retail protein, and you're not using dairy products, which we don't. We just use almond milk or coconut milk. And then also with baked goods,
said it's frozen.
Can't hear you.
Are we still frozen? Or are we good?
What's going on? We don't look frozen from our end.
We got you now. You were frozen for quite a bit. You just started to talk about the protein and it froze for a while, but you're back. Nope, you're frozen again.
The internet dropped us again for a second. Are we back yet? Can anybody hear us?
Well, we'll wait to hear from Karen.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Thank you. Good. Thank you. Okay. So what I was saying was about the need that you don't need a food license when you're dealing with protein powder and protein baked goods, especially when the protein you're making it with an almond, a nut milk, or a coconut milk and ice. There's no need for a license for that. Same thing with baked goods that are already pre-wrapped. What I did learn from Kim was the issue with nuts. So any form of nuts just needs to be marked on the packaging. So any of you, if you work during the summer, any type of, or on the weekends, those what are those, farmers markets, and if you want to actually take items there, then that is something that you could actually do. Just let us know ahead of time, and we definitely need 3 to 4 weeks to get ready. So if you know ahead of time that you want to have like a table with some of the products on it, let us know, and then we'll discuss that with you and make sure that we've got plenty of time to get it ready. Definitely have to give us 3 to 4 week notice on any type of bulk orders, just because we have got so many that are happening now. And we're in the middle of closing another 10 more, probably in the next 6 weeks, that we've got everything that's going to be on a schedule and rotating schedule. And it's not like small orders that you can just make real quick. That is not how things work on that level. So just know that about protein things. So that's always something that you can sell without the need of a food license. When it comes to baking, that's typically a cottage license when people bake from their home. But it's just baked goods that are individually wrapped, and they definitely have to say if there's something about nuts. All of our, and that's a big thing, like with Jody and so forth, like when it, even though labels have to say this was baked in the facility with nuts, we'll always start with the nut products and then end with the other one. So or vice versa. Start with the ones that don't have nuts, and then we do the nuts at the end.
Yeah.
So nothing is being
Contaminated.
contaminated or commingled. So that's what will happen with that. So I want to give like an update on team uniforms before I spend time over on the issue with the meet coming up this weekend and discussing that and going over the schedule. So one of the updates is going to be about Roadrunner. So things take longer. They don't move super fast when you've got to work on a regional and national level. So these uniforms, I've been in negotiations with different uniform companies and getting endorsed by certain uniform companies. So Champion is a Champion team endorsement. So I've been working with them. So we're thinking that by next year, we could possibly get a full team uniform endorsement by them, and have them actually start printing our uniforms and that kind of stuff. Right now, it's too short a notice. So we're still working on who will print the uniforms and getting all that stuff done. But we've got to do them all together. We can't do just piecemeal on the uniform. So there was like 3 or 4 people that still needed to place an order for their uniform. So if you're on the USA track and field team, please make sure that you actually get your order placed by this Friday, because I got to actually go and do the run on the uniforms. They're saying between 3 to 6 weeks, gunning for 4, that it will take to run all of the pieces. So that's kind of the update on the USA track and field uniforms. When it comes to Roadrunner, had a live meeting with them today. So they're really excited about us being the only Columbus USA track and field team. So we're going down the track of some form of endorsement. They said that they're going to be working. They had a meeting with their endorsement team setup person who's on a regional level. And what he's going to do is put a package together for Team Amp Up. And the way that they, part of their endorsement that they do is, giving really steep discounts for our team, making sure each one of you earns your own type of points that will rack up towards anything that you want to purchase, giving really good discounts on the shoe inserts. So the tennis shoe inserts, your spikes, and then running shoes or any other kind of special shoe. If they don't have it in stock, they typically can special order it for you, or you can get it ordered online and then they'll ship it directly to you. So what he did say today was there'll have to be a set of time set aside where all of the team goes shopping within like a 7-day period or 10-day or 2-week period where they say, okay, this is Team Amp Up. So like right now they've got teams coming from Mount Union and OU and Miami University. And so we'll have to schedule a Team Amp Up shopping period. And then they said that's where they'll watch and see the type of volume that comes in and so forth from our team just getting started. And so that's kind of how Roadrunner is just getting put together right now. So we are at least talking to the level that will start to put an endorsement package together for our team. And then we'll schedule out whatever that week is for all the shopping to happen, or that 2-week period or whatever. And then we'll keep moving with Roadrunner on the ability for them to do some type of endorsements. Once they start seeing that we're actually competing on a state, regional, national level, then we'll start to get feedback from them. What other types of endorsements can they do for us? Whether it is, back of uniforms or the tent or whatever. So we got to find out about that. So just working that. And again, like, I want everyone to realize this stuff is just going to take longer than what we ever anticipated, just because we're working on, this is just bigger accounts and bigger deals that is happening with. So inserts, running shoes, spikes, those are the typical things that are needed for actual track and field. And uniform, gave you the update on the uniform. Okay, so now let's go to USA track and field. I'm going to share the screen and let's take a look at the events, and then just make sure everybody's got a clear perception. Let's see if I move this guy up. I thought if you moved him up or down, they would. There we go. Okay, so on the schedule, so some people are arriving Friday and they're going to be there Friday and Saturday. Some people are just going to come up on Saturday. So just wanted to let you know, what does the schedule look like? So for Friday, also, I'm just going to fill in. I had a few of the athletes ask me, what is a pentathlon? What are the events that are in that? So I'm going to explain that. So the purpose of it is the show of strength, speed, and agility. So that's why you got to kind of go all over the place with this. It's not just all strength or all speed or all being agile. You've got to show all of them. There's 6 items that take place, and they're typically in this order. So it can get very exhausting because of the order they put it in. I mean, it's a real test of actually how powerful you are. So typically starts with 60-meter hurdles. So 60-meter hurdles. Then it goes to the shot put. Then it goes to the high jump. Then a 200-meter dash. Then the long jump. And then the 800-meter run.
Jesus.
So you got to be all over the place to do this. So very much, does this not say Rhonda all day long? I mean, with the exception of hurdles, she's never done hurdles before, but there's a certain body type that can go all over the board and be able to do all those different things. So I also was talking with Miranda, and I found that USA Track and Field does a throw pentathlon. So just throws only. And so they have throwing events, and then they do where you just do nothing but throw. So I think that would be something that Miranda would be amazing at. But those are just down the line, something to look forward to, something to train for and all that. So you kind of know that's how they have so much respect. They start the entire event off with these people. So they let them get all their events in before the rest of the day begins. They just get the whole entire weekend started. So Friday, what we are really looking to watch is not until it gets over to the race walking for the race walker. So that's really where why he said, try to be there. I always give you guys lie time. So 12:15, 12:30 for Friday, because we need to pay attention to these race walkers. We've got athletes that are going to be doing that. That starts at that time. And then we'll start.
Melinda?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Are they on the time change? So are they an hour off from us?
Kentucky?
Oh, it's in Kentucky. You know what? I'm thinking Nashville, Indiana.
Yeah,
Because
this is Kentucky, but I did hear from Rhonda, it's on the Indiana border.
It is.
Is Indiana on our time, or is Indiana there?
Hold on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sure of.
Observe daylight savings time.
Because that's where we're staying, is New Albany, Indiana. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll look into that.
Okay, so we definitely need to know if New Albany, Indiana is on the same time as Ohio or Kentucky.
Yeah, Eastern. Yeah.
It's all Eastern, Kentucky and Indiana.
They're still on daylight savings time, and they're Eastern time.
And they're Eastern time.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all our time then. Okay, thanks for asking that. So after watching the race walking, then it'll go on to some 400s, just watching the intensity of 400s. Some people will be there. Some people, Todd will take over to the throws, because some of these times, if you look here, some of the times, I think this one's all track. Yeah, so that's the track. And then Todd will say, okay, Mike, let's come over here and let's go over to the field events. So around on Friday, let me see, what did he say about Friday? Hold on a second. All right, so we're still talking about USA Track and Field schedule for this weekend. I'm still on Friday, Friday field events, and the ones that we care the most about obviously have to do with throws, watching the different ages here. So that's what we're looking at. When you're at the actual event, you want to make sure when you're looking around and you're looking at people's bibs that you're looking for these numbers right here on their bib, because it's letting you know what age frame that this person's in. And the most important thing that Todd wants learned, why he wants you guys experiencing a meet before you actually compete. Well, number one would be very similar to what Rhonda and Meg experienced at the pump and run this weekend. When you've already done something at least one time and then you go back, you're just so much more professional. So whenever he has us compete, he always wants us to go watch, feel the environment out, take a look at the people, see what our competition is going to be like, know, what a track feels like, an indoor track, an outdoor track, just feel the energy, the environment, the emotions that are there. So your brain doesn't make a bunch of bullshit up. So you actually know what to expect and project, and it'll keep a lot of your just nervousness under control. Rhonda and Meg were just in total athlete mode Sunday, did their best times ever, shit that I would never have projected that could possibly happen in 1 year. It was just incredible. Their changes were incredible. So that's what he wants to make sure of, that you're looking at your competition, you're looking around at all the ages. Sometimes when you see people walking by, they're 70-year-olds and you think they're in the 45-year-old class. And then when they walk past you and you look at the back of their bib and you're like, oh my God, that person says W70 or M80 on it. So just incredible to see all the different ages and the kind of shape people keep themselves in, and, just nice attitudes, all that kind of stuff. So it is a lot of fun. So especially if you're going to be a thrower or a sprinter, you've got to be able to watch a lot of the events. When it comes to indoor, the best thing about an indoor track, at the Spires Institute, when we went there, Todd's like, is that a 400, an indoor 400, which typically an indoor track doesn't have a 400. It has a 200 and you got to run it twice to equal a 400. So it makes it smaller and you can get to the events quicker than just a regular track. And like Mount Union, we had to run. Like Brittany was in so many different events. The track and field was on one side, then we had to run all the way behind the track and field stadium for all the jumping events and throwing. So she just had to run all over the place.
I went from the long jump and they had to radio over. Hold on, hold the 400. She's coming.
So that's pretty cool. So indoors is a good one to start out watching, because it'll be small enough that we can see when the pole vaulters are going or when the throwers are happening and so forth. There'll be no javelin. Obviously, javelin can't happen indoors, but all the weighted throws and the shot put, that stuff can happen indoors. So we'll at least be able to see that, kind of see the competition, see who people are, talk to people and so forth. So even though these times look like, oh, wow, that looks like a long day, it goes so fast. You're going from thing to thing to thing. You look down and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe how fast everything is flowing.
There's literally no downtime.
Yeah, exactly. You're just going from thing to thing. Okay, so then now when it comes to Saturday, he wants Saturday to start early. He said get there by 7:30 on Saturday, because the 60 meters are beginning. That's how the morning gets started out. As you can see here,
they've got that many prelims.
Yeah, there's a lot of prelims. So that means there's probably, I think he said there's at least 1,000 athletes that are going to be at this national event. So people take this dead serious. So just like all of us, we all take this shit serious anyway. So these are our homies all the way. But it kind of shows you, these are prelims. So they're trying to weed out everyone that's not going to make it to the finals. So we want to see some of those prelims. And then that goes all morning. And then here we go with some race walking to watch again. And this is the final. So by 11 a.m., this is when all of our race walkers need to be over there watching the race walking. They put everybody together. So even though you're still being scored in your decade, it's still going to be, when it's time for the finals, everybody's going. All right, then we go, there's more 60 meters, and then a lot of 60 meters. Okay, so now we're going into a little bit longer runs, 1500s. And you want to make sure, because most of these events have no food, always pack your food. So making your protein pancakes, having those, having a shake made and put it in a big thermos. So you've got shakes, you've got plenty of water. So always pack a lot of different snacks with you and plenty of water, ARD or whatever, for your actual day there or whatever, because you never know what time we're going to get out of there. So have plenty of snacks with you. Then it goes on to hurdles. And like I said, one or two of you might be, I can even see a potential for a Rachel to be able to make a move in this pentathlon direction. 800-meter wouldn't be too crazy for her, and then all the other events. So we're going to have to watch some hurdles as well, and watch all the different ages. You start to see 65 to 89-year-olds do hurdles, you're going to be like, oh shit, I can't believe it. So very motivating, very inspiring, just very eye-opening to be around that. So that's pretty much Saturday, just being able to watch that. Relays are always at the very, very end. Sometimes they're even earlier. If stuff goes quicker, all these times move up much, much earlier. But the relays, 4x2s, 4x8s or whatever. On the field on Saturday, we've got some weighted throws and shot put. So like I said, we'll probably break people up between the three of us coaches, taking different groups to each area to watch, and then take pictures and stuff like that. Todd definitely wants, I think only 2 people are not going to be able to make it. So we've got to film for them and send them their competition for their age bracket, for sure. There's long jumps, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what the premise is for that, to be able to watch all that and really give everybody a visual. I remember after I watched my first one and got to see it all and look at the videos that I was filming and the pictures I was taking, then it made it so much easier for all my workouts and all the little tedious shit that I had to do, including all the prehab, going to cryo, going to massage, getting cupping done, taking my Epsom salt bath, soaking my feet every day under my desk with Epsom salt. It made all that easier because I had all these visuals in my mind. So do understand this is actually aiding your visualization, that you're actually watching your competition. And it just makes it fun. It really makes you very inspired, just takes your own mind and emotions to the next level. Very easy just to get real bored during these cold, disgusting months. And then it starts to get warmer, then you really want to get out and get more sunshine and vitamin D and all that kind of stuff. Another thing that I want to talk about is about injury prevention. For those of you who do not realize about vitamins, your vitamin D must be with K2 at all times. Never, ever, ever take vitamin D alone. And then you always want to take vitamin D and vitamin C. So, so your vitamin D, when you order it from Amazon or wherever, always get vitamin D K2. Always also try to go with a liquid form first, the kind that melts under your tongue second, or a like a powder form third. Those things break down so quickly. If you can choose it in that order before you go to a capsule. Sometimes it's just in a capsule, whatever the price. I'm not going to blow a bunch of money, but those would be the orders to choose to take stuff in. But if you're low, which all of us are low on vitamin D because we spend so much time indoors, this is not an external city or state, like Vegas would, like Nevada would be, or Cali, or even Florida. We get very low on vitamin D. And so you want to always make sure when you do sports, you're always having vitamin D K2 in your body and vitamin C to help with repairs. Quercetin is the highest level of vitamin C. So you don't have to take both. If you buy quercetin, just take that. Or if you've already taken vitamin C, get that. There is quercetin is the highest quality version of C. So that's why that is the best one to choose if you're to choose anything at all. That if you don't have anything and you got to go make your purchase quercetin first before you just buy some cheap ascorbic acid vitamin C. So those 2 things, and then any form of, if you are doing multi-sports that have to do with sprinting, you should always be on a liquid form of glucosamine chondroitin. So liquid form of glucosamine chondroitin. That's for all of your joints and ligaments. So, and again, it takes 6 good months for it to really take the strongest effect. Then it takes 6 months of you not taking it for it to wear off. So it's the type of supplement that builds up over time. I think it starts working right away, but you get your absolute best benefit after you've been on it for a while. But like I said, if you forget to take it, it still takes 6 months for it to wear off.
Take it. I've been taking it for like 20 years now.
You have?
Yeah.
It just works so good. It's so good. This is a story about eating lectins. So I haven't had any cassava chips, and I wanted a taco salad. I actually wanted 2 taco salads, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. I was in the middle of a meeting on Sunday after I ate the taco salad. And I mean, my amount of chips was like this much crushed down and then put all my stuff on top of it. So it wasn't even like a whole huge bag of them. I couldn't even step on my feet. I couldn't even walk. I was like, my fucking feet are killing me walking to the bathroom. 2 bowls of those cassava chips. Cassava has lectins.
That's the thing you made that sandbox out of.
What I make out?
That sandbox. The cassava flour. You made that sandbox dessert and made yourself sick. You said it was sand. You made sandbox and you're like, what did I do wrong? And you said, well, I started with cassava flour and I started laughing. You're like, let me tell my story. And I was like, well, let's start with that.
And then I'm sore everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So cassava flour will make too much soreness because of the lectins in that. So anyway, so that's why he doesn't want any of you touching lectins right before competition, no matter what. That, thank God my body got rid of it in like the next 48 hours, but still it's incredible when you don't take something, put it in your body and you're like, I'm sore already. I can't even get up from a seated position within 2 hours after eating it. Absolutely insane. Okay, so I did team uniform update. I did Roadrunner update. I talked about track and field for the weekend. Some people are coming up Friday, some people are coming up Saturday. Make sure you pay attention to times to be there. I discussed what a pentathlon was. What you need to look for at Roadrunner is inserts, running shoe spikes. Wait to go shopping at Roadrunner until we get this team endorsement package. So he said, don't worry if you don't have your stuff already, don't worry about it. We're just going, it's an indoor track. You'll be able to fill it out with your tennis shoes. So everything's been trying to get pushed too fast, and this is too big to push this shit fast. So we can't get the uniforms done fast. We can't get these national endorsement accounts set up fast. It's just not going to happen fast. So
we're doing things that are on a bigger scale, and they're a bigger deal,
bigger scale, and they take longer.
Where we get so excited because it's everything that we've wanted and it's everything that we said that we wanted, and we work our asses off to make it happen, and then we're just so excited we just can't slow our roll until it's like a dog and all of a sudden the feet are spinning and it spills forward, and then you have to slow your roll because you just face plant it. So that is where we're at right now. So the Arnold Classic, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Getting into these Marine military bases, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Getting all 30 of them and 30 of them internationally, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Spires Institute, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Getting our team sponsored by Roadrunner as athletes and getting everybody discounts and free product and having sponsored athletes, that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
So everything that we're doing, it's on a bigger and bigger level now. And there's more people, there's more moving parts, there's more things that could go wrong. We're dealing with people that are no longer just our inner circle, where we run a tight ship around here. We fucking move fast. We bark orders at each other. As you all know, everybody around here runs at the same emergency room pace. And that's
oh my God. Emergency room pace. That is
we already
worst.
run.
That's the worst visualization ever.
And then he's like, can you move faster? And I'm like,
no
more.
I'm
no more. I'm
no more.
Enjoy my fucking life.
Exactly.
We're not doing this again.
No more high speed everything.
And it just, so anyway, so 2 parts of this. A, it literally doesn't work.
Yeah.
B, I want to enjoy it this time around.
Exactly.
So these are things that we've always wanted and we've worked our asses off for, and we're so happy for them. But at the same time,
they're bigger
there's
than
a learning curve on how to incorporate other people
Yeah.
and how to play well with other people that
And
are not
slow down
our
a
inner
little bit.
circle, moving at our speed.
And slow down a little bit because you have to. When they're
Right.
on those big accounts, they're like, we're not moving that fast.
So it's kind of like when you're trying to go anywhere fast with a toddler and then they shit their pants and then they dump their Cheerios everywhere. And then you're like, well, I guess this is what we're doing today. And everything just slows way down.
Yeah.
A lot slower than if you're just running around doing errands by yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of the state that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And it's been like a learning curve that we have to slow our roll a little bit
Yeah.
to not roll over people and situations.
Yeah.
We have 2 comments.
Okay, so let's see what the comments are. Let's see, to confirm, arrive at 11:15 Friday and amp up, black top or black t-shirt. Yeah, thank you for saying
Yes.
that. Since we don't have the red uniform things made yet.
Karen understands our emergency room.
Yeah, so please wear like an amp up, even your powerlifting shirt. They'll just be able to see amp up through a jacket or whatever, just so we're all in black again, so it still looks cohesive. That's the ideal thing, please.
They're going to be awesome. But let me just say, yesterday, Todd was looking at zip up hoodies and changing my entire design. And he's like, hoodies have where like the logo can go all the way across. And I was like, Mila in the back room is not going to learn that tomorrow. No, we're not doing that to Mila.
Yeah, no, and she's not going to do it anyway.
Right.
So,
She's not going to do it, period. And she's not doing that tomorrow.
Too much work. Yeah, exactly.
And that's not what I designed. It took me 3
right.
weeks to finish
Took
that
3 weeks for the design.
Why are
and
we
then I was
throwing
like,
it out the
no,
window?
we can't rush. We can't rush. It's too hard.
They're
And there's
so pretty.
too many things
And
on
they're
these
so
cool
pretty.
uniforms.
They look so cool.
They look so cool. Yep. So they have to be done professionally. So it's just going to slow things down. That's all right. We are going to be doing practice this Sunday at the same location, just because the weather still looks crappy. He really wanted to be outside in March,
but it's going to snow.
It's going to be so ugly. So he's like, we're probably going to be at the same location. What I don't know yet, what I'm going to have him do is just try to make it a little later. So, I don't know if we're coming back starting early Sunday morning and then heading straight there. So we just have to make it a little later for sure. So it might be 12 noon, it might be 12:30 once we find out when we actually have the area rented for the track practice. Okay, so let me see here. We don't have an update yet on powerlifting yet.
We're not excited about losing an hour.
We lose an hour too?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rhonda said we lose an hour.
Yeah.
Coming back?
No, well, no, you lose an hour. When you wake up Sunday morning, you lose an hour.
Oh, because it's daylight savings time this Sunday?
Like you wake up at 10 and it's already 11.
Oh, okay, got you. Bring forward. Okay. I do like when that happens because we got more light. Thank God we have more light. All right. Okay, but this is the weekend of that. Thank you for reminding us of that. The update on powerlifting, we don't have an update yet, so she's already messaged him. We just have to wait again.
I'm waiting for the 7-year-old to check his Facebook Messenger on the other account, and he also got not hacked but cloned. I saw his update today, so he's having some Facebook difficulties right now.
Okay. All right. So once we get that answer about June 3rd, we know that we're not going to go back and deal with Sarah just because she's just too nasty. So we know we're not going to deal with Sarah again. So if this falls through, which it's not in my plan to fall through, I in my plan to do it in June. June. A, I might look for another organization to work with. B, we'll see if there's another state like West Virginia or something like that. Or just go back, just do Nashville. So I will keep you guys posted on that.
And I said that to them. I was like, one of our athletes had like mild heat stroke, several of them, and it affected our performance. So we don't want to go back to the basement in Springfield in the spring. If this is a no for any reason, just tell me so we can make other plans, because we have a lot of athletes competing in powerlifting and track, and we have to plan our schedules and practices accordingly and their training programs. And if we are a no for any reason, then we need to plan to either go back to Nashville in the spring or West Virginia. So
yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. I just wanted to update, everyone that I've been training, both that are powerlifters and track athletes, the ones that have started track practice, and I got started with powerlifting pretty much last week. everyone's strength levels is way ahead of schedule. So that's why they've always used track as a off-season sport to do for all other sports. And my God, does it show up in powerlifting. It's absolutely incredible. So just know that track is going to have a huge impact on your performance for powerlifting. It's going to make it all easier. You're more pumped up. You can perform so much higher. So it's beautiful to actually watch it. Also on the app, we're done with the workout. Got to do a couple more edits. And I also have some videos that are loading into the actual program for March. So I'll be getting that done. I have to do a few more edits with Todd, probably Thursday. And then those will load up for March's track and field, and also for powerlifting. So powerlifting training begins for March as well. So like Mike, when you are training yourself in the gym, we're beginning on that. Dylan showed me something super cool that a guy showed him at the gym. He took the safeties on the bench, and he may have had to do it. You know how a lot of times the bench press is already stuck. You can't move the safeties. He moved his chair over into a squat rack and was able to move the safeties up. And he moved them all the way up to the place where he laid down on the bench and his back was flat, not arched. And he put the safeties lined up with a flat back. And then he arched real, real high. And so when he was benching with a high arch, it was hitting his chest, not the safeties. Then if you get too tired, if you just flatten your back, it comes right back to the safety. So it's not going to chop your head off. So that is an awesome thing to do for those of you that train alone. I didn't even know that thought that I always say, don't put the collars on, but if you are training alone, that's a fantastic way to know that you don't have to worry when you're benching. You've got, no matter what, it can actually land right there on the safeties. So that was a wonderful lesson that I got from Dylan, Mr. Sports Management. Let's see if there's anything else to cover here. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Either ask them or text them to us. Okay, so that's powerlifting.
Linda, I was late, but I'll just talk to you tomorrow about Roadrunner and anything else I missed in the first 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no problem. And I'm also making a recording of this as well. So all I was saying on Roadrunner is they're in the middle of making a endorsed team package, and they can't just like make a coupon code for that. And then it makes it where we have to do like our initial shopping all together, like in a week or two. So because they have like different teams coming through there, universities coming through. And so they said, well, whatever you decide, we'll make it where it's like, all right, Team Amp Up, everybody that comes through for Team Amp Up is going to be coming from this state to this state to do their initial purchasing. Then you can purchase from then on anything that you want after that. But they're putting a package together where it accrues points for you that turn into product. It gives discounts for anybody that comes off of a code of yours. It gives you an actual discount. So there's a multiple things that they do when they make an endorsement team setup package. So that was the big thing on that. Then I also explained the pentathlon. So I'll just say it again. On pentathlon is about strength, speed, and agility. And so the items are 60-meter hurdles, shot put, high jump, 200-meter dash, long jump, and 800-meter run. And I said, between you and Rachel, you'd be the two that I think that could do it. Not your first year, no matter what, but you could go all over the place like that. You just have to learn how to do hurdles and see if you like it. But that's kind of what I said about pentathlon, so you know what it is. I'm definitely going to forget that by tomorrow.
Thanks.
I think we covered everything.
I think we covered everything. We got the biggest thing out of the way with the beginning of the United States military, Air Force Top Gun bases, and then Kim's Arnold Classic. Those two big things were all happening back to back. So by the spring, we should be located, Amp Up products and so forth should be located out of about 50 locations, 50 different locations. We finished closing the United States military. That'll take it up to 100, and that'll be global. And then, like I said earlier, if you're the type of person that likes to work summer farmers markets, you can always sell Amp Up products there, not really needing any type of a food license, because protein shakes don't need food license, and protein baked goods, they'll just have to have the ingredients on there to notate if there's any kind of allergens like nuts in them. So that was a lesson that we learned with Kim's. Other than that, that's pretty much everything
Yeah,
that we
Kim.
reviewed. It's a
Kim.
very simple meeting this time. We're all gearing up for this weekend in Kentucky. And then after Kentucky, we should have some type of an answer about when is the powerlifting meet. So we all know what we're headed to. Only one other thing about the powerlifting meet, which I already said that we do want to try to change our color of our shirt this year, have a new color just to make it fun, something new. Now that we know track is red, obviously powerlifting color has to stay away from red.
Right.
Okay. All right. So that's it. That's all I've got to go over. And black bottoms and tops on Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. and
So
amp
if
up
you can
top.
wear your amp up top, since we don't have our uniforms, if you can wear your amp up top, that would be ideal. And then just like black bottoms, and then the black amp up shirt would be perfect. And that would work great. That'd be perfect for everybody. And everyone, I did get your number. So I've got the entire team's numbers because those numbers, and I made sure no one was duplicated. So everybody got at least one number that they chose. So some of you gave me 5 or 6 choices. So we got a really cool team. Our numbers are super cool, spread out, really cool. Okay. And Karen has number 1. That's what she said. That's all that matters. I just want to be number 1.
Amen.
She got it. She got number 1.
I love it.
Yeah. And okay, so again, just recap. Your vitamins matter like you cannot imagine. Your prehab work matters like you cannot imagine. To try to not get injured, you need tons of vitamins. You need tons of self-care, tons. And when you think that you've done enough, do a little bit more. Err on the safe side of your feet being sausages, wet sausages. You've been soaking them so much and getting all that magnesium in your body from the Epsom salt bath. So just literally, it just is so much better to not have to work through an injury. Just be prehab. That needs to be your middle names. Hi, I'm Mike Prehab Greenlee. Hi, I'm Karen Prehab Saul. So prehab is the new middle name right now with all this activity going on. Okay. That's it.
We're
all
gonna
right.
go over this. Hang on.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, if I don't see you guys, we'll see you guys on Friday morning. And those of you that are not there Friday, we'll see you on Saturday morning. Have a safe trip, everyone.
Or Sunday morning. We'll see you sometime. this
Yeah, or
weekend.
Sunday. Yeah. We'll see you one day this
We'll
weekend.
see y'all later.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
guys. Bye.